Heyo everybody, Hako here with my review for Boku no Hero Academia Season 3 Episode 21. I actually remembered to say the season part before just going straight into episode this time. This was way better than even I expected. I was really looking forward to a lot of the stuff here as someone who's read the manga, but again, not going to get into manga stuff. But I was looking forward to a lot of this stuff, but it was even better than I expected it to be. Now, the preview at the end has me a little concerned about what they're doing next, but I'm gonna forget about that and leave that till the end, so if you don't watch the preview or don't want to hear about that, that'll just be at the end after I talk about this actual episode. So this was really good. I'm glad that I had kind of hoped that since we were taking the week last week for the special charity episode, I was like, maybe that'll give them a little bit more time to really put in some work on the canon episode that comes up next, and it seems they really did that. And the thing, I don't know how to put this, what's coming next in the series is my favorite thing. God, I don't know how to put this. The next fight that's coming up is my favorite fight in the entire manga, so I really, really hope the anime does it justice. But either way, for this episode, we start off with seeing the Public Safety Commission deciding on how the exam should be held, and they want to do it with an emphasis on teamwork. Their logic is that All Might was super charismatic, he was super powerful, and we're not just going to get another All Might, not anytime soon. And because of that, instead of putting all our eggs in one basket and trying to make a new All Might, we should just have all the heroes share this unity together and work together as a team and kind of bring the whole profession up instead of relying on one person. But then getting back to the test, Shindo was the first person to get hit with the one-shot blast from Gang Orca, and Gang Orca was a force this episode. Gang Orca was powerful. I really liked the portrayal here, because to be honest, as a manga reader, I thought that Gang Orca was a little bit... I know everybody loves the character, and I enjoy the character, but I was like, he's a little bit on the weaker side for pro heroes to be in the top 10 or whatever. But no, this really made him look cool. So Izuku, Ojiro, Mina, and Tokiyami start evacuating people, and Todoroki and Yoarash come in to do the fighting. All the people scoring the test are like, oh, this is a really good idea. They have really good all-purpose quirks, they're really powerful, and everybody else is doing their job too. Everything's going well. But then both of them think the other is sabotaging themselves while fighting, because of course the wind blows off the flames, and the flames make the wind rise and miss target. So they both don't trust each other, and of course it's because of Endeavor. And we get some of the flashbacks and see that Endeavor and Shoto both treated Yoarash the same way. Yoarash, or Inasa, is definitely not in the wrong here. They both did the same thing, which was kind of cast him off and say, you're in my way, don't get in my way. And what I loved about it most is that even when that happened with Endeavor, Inasa, still being the big, happy bouncing baby boy he is, was like, you know what, I still want to be this guy's friend. He might be that jerk's son, but I'm sure it won't bother me if we're friends. So he tries to make friends with him, and Shoto's just a dick to him, because that's who Shoto was back then. And he kind of accepts it with himself later on, where he's like, yeah, because I hated my dad, I turned out to be just like him. I hated everybody else just the same way. So Izuku comes back to save Shindo when one of the flame wind blasts goes awry. And we get to see a flashback to the test with Shoto and Inasa, and we see Hononuki from Class 2 is there as well, or Class B rather. So we get to see that test. Inasa wins, tries to be friends, and he sees the same thing in Shoto's eyes that he saw in Endeavor's, which was a hatred for something just far off, a hatred for something far in the distance. Which for Shoto is obviously Endeavor, and for Endeavor is All Might. And not really hating All Might the person or hating Endeavor the person, more like hating the idea of them and what they mean in their lives. So it's a bit more metaphysical than actually literal. But either way, the animation was so great. Inasa gets one shot by this combo between the cement gun minions and Gang Orca, and then Shoto also gets one shot. Shindo holds the villains back while Midoriya gets sent off to go help take down what's left with Gang Orca. Inasa still manages to attack and have a little bit of control, even though he's been paralyzed, and though Shoto is paralyzed, he's still got power, so by using Inasa's control, complemented by Todoroki's power, he scoops the flames up and creates a flame cyclone. Which is really good because Gang Orca's weak to drying out, so wind and heat, definitely not good for him. But one other cool thing that happened here is that Shoto gets a bit more into the weaknesses of him using both sides. He says that he can't really move very well while using both sides, but he can use it now because if he can't move anyway, then it doesn't really make a difference. So they keep up that attack for a bit. Izuku, Ojiro, Mina, Tokoyami, and Tsuyu all return to fight against the minions. So does Mora from Shiketsu. Tsuyu shows off the new camouflage ability, which is really cool. Then the best animation in all of this, Gang Orca pouring the water on himself and then using the ultrasonic waves to blast his way out of the flaming cyclone, was great. Then Izuku shows up right at the very end. Again, animation was incredible, and the test ends there. I love that the test ended too with Bakugo's team. Bakugo, Kirishima, and Kaminari is where it ended. And then, of course, we get a cliffhanger on the score, which I kind of saw coming. It's like, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not upset with it either. It just happens. So we get cliffhung on the score, so we'll see who passes in the aftermath from that next episode, which will be good. And so I'm not going to get into spoilers with this, but from the preview from next episode, it seems like compared to the manga, they're skipping some things or moving some things around, doing some things in different order, which I don't mind as long as they do it well. But what it worries me about is that they're not going to throw it in anywhere, so I don't know if it would be spoilers. I don't think it would, but either way, I guess I'm not going to bring it up. But right after the fight between All Might and All For One, there was some stuff that was in the manga that was skipped, like some stuff that I doubt they're going to put that I think it's safe to say at this point. They skip a scene where All Might's giving his retirement speech briefly or whatever, and we just have a flash to that, or the news report saying that Best Jeanist is still alive, but he's recovering, so he's not going to be doing any hero work for a long time. And in addition, there's a scene where Kota's looking in the door as the news is announcing the retirement of Ragdoll, and we have all the pussycats huddled around her, hugging her as she's crying. So, again, there were some things that were somewhat important that the anime just completely left out and skipped over, in addition to two important things. We saw the scene where One For All is... Wait, is that it? No, All For One. All For One is getting pushed by the one guard through the hallway, and he gives the little "you're next" speech about Shigaraki. Well, in the manga, that scene had two additional things. One that I won't spoil in case they throw it in a special way in the anime, and the other that he says that he's like, "Where am I? Is this a prison or whatever?" And the guard's like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I can't see because of all these sensors around here. I was using a quirk called like thermo something vision." He was basically using infrared vision, so, and sensing heat and stuff to see his way around. So we get the reveal that, I mean, obviously he didn't have eyes, but that he was blind the whole time. So there are important things like that that were just left out for no reason, and it's really confusing. And I hope that doesn't happen here, since they're skipping things and doing things out of order. I hope it is just out of order, and it's not that they're skipping things. But it's got me really worried seeing that episode preview. But either way, for this episode, I did think it was a great episode. I thought the animation and OST were incredible. It was so hype. And I love the characters. I love this arc's characters, and, you know, how it's kind of introduction for most of them, and they're not really going to be important until later on. They're not, like, immediately important. But the backstory for Inasa's great, so loved all of that. And I really hope he and Shoto can become friends. That's something I really, really want to see. But either way, I'd give it 9.75 Flame Cyclones out of 10. And the only reason I'm not giving it a perfect score, despite being really, really hype, was that we ended on a cliffhanger, and I just generally don't like that. I like to have an actual conclusion for most episodes. Cliffhangers can be done right, but usually they're just kind of eh. Yeah, either way, this was a good episode, and gosh, I'm just worried about the pacing. The pacing for the back half of the season has been weird, between skipping or reorganizing things, adding in a couple filler things. It's just been a weird pacing situation for the back half of the season. So, gosh, I'm just really hoping they do the end of this season well. There are so many things that I really am excited to see, and I just hope that nothing gets butchered. I know I should trust them by now, but with leaving things out after that fight, I don't know, it kind of shook my trust in Bones a lot with this. So I guess we'll see how things go. But either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more Boku no Hero Academia, both anime and manga, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. And if you want a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us there, then just ask and I'll give you a link. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.